Americans concerned Trump's tariff war could backfire. In recent months, growing concerns have emerged across the United States regarding the potential consequences of former President Donald Trump's aggressive tariff policies. As Trump continues to position himself as a key figure in the 2024 presidential race, his campaign promises once again highlight strong protectionist measures, including new rounds of tariffs aimed at China, Europe, and other major trade partners. However, many Americans, ranging from industry leaders and economists to everyday consumers, worry that these policies could have severe unintended consequences, potentially causing economic turbulence rather than prosperity. The United States has a complex history with tariffs. Historically, tariffs have been used as a tool to protect domestic industries from foreign competition. Trump's administration from 2017 to 2021 emphasized this approach, implementing tariffs on billions of dollars worth of imported goods, particularly from China. Trump argued that such measures were necessary to correct what he called unfair trade practices and to restore American manufacturing. While the initial rhetoric resonated with many working-class voters, the long-term results of the tariff wars have sparked debate. Studies conducted by institutions such as the Federal Reserve and the Peterson Institute for International Economics found that American consumers and businesses largely bore the burden of these tariffs. Instead of foreign companies paying higher taxes, U.S. importers faced higher costs, which were then passed on to consumers through increased prices on everyday goods. As Trump signals a return to aggressive trade tactics, many in the business community are voicing serious concerns. A recent survey conducted by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce revealed that 68% of business leaders fear that new tariffs could hurt American competitiveness on the global stage. They warn that retaliatory tariffs from other countries could further shrink market access for American goods, harming industries from agriculture to technology. Farmers, in particular, have expressed deep apprehension. During Trump's previous term, agricultural exports to China and other key markets dropped significantly due to retaliatory tariffs. To offset losses, the federal government distributed billions of dollars in aid to farmers through subsidy programs. Yet many farmers viewed these payments as a temporary bandage rather than a sustainable solution. "We don't want handouts. We want markets," said John Bellamy, a soybean farmer in Iowa. "Tariffs hurt us in the long run. If foreign buyers find new suppliers, it's hard to win them back." Consumers are also bracing for potential price hikes. Economists estimate that the average American household paid an extra $600 to $1,000 annually during the last round of tariffs due to increased costs on imported goods ranging from electronics to clothing. With inflation already a pressing concern in the current economy, many fear that additional tariffs could exacerbate rising prices, putting more strain on household budgets. "The cost of living is already high," commented Susan Ramirez, a schoolteacher from Arizona. "Another trade war would just make everything more expensive." Trump's allies argue that the tariff strategy is necessary to strengthen American industries and reduce reliance on foreign manufacturing, especially from geopolitical rivals like China. They emphasize that protecting domestic production is crucial for national security and economic independence. Tariffs are a tool to make sure that America doesn't remain vulnerable to supply chain disruptions and foreign manipulation, said Peter Navarro, former White House trade advisor and a vocal supporter of Trump's policies. Nevertheless, critics highlight that tariffs are a blunt instrument, often leading to unintended economic distortions. By raising the cost of intermediate goods used in manufacturing, tariffs can ironically make American-made products less competitive both at home and abroad. Auto manufacturers, for instance, have warned that tariffs on steel and aluminum have increased production costs, leading to higher vehicle prices and reduced sales. In turn, this could result in layoffs and weakened economic growth, an outcome precisely opposite to what tariff proponents intend. Internationally, America's trading partners are also preparing for potential conflict. The European Union, Canada, Mexico, and China have all indicated that they would respond to new U.S. tariffs with reciprocal measures. Trade wars, they warn, have no winners, only casualties. "The world is interconnected," said Angela Marston, an international trade lawyer based in Washington, D.C. "When you disrupt global supply chains, the shockwaves reverberate across multiple sectors. Tariffs can initiate a chain reaction that ultimately harms the very workers they aim to protect." Adding complexity to the situation is the evolving global economic landscape. China's economy, while slowing, remains a significant player in global trade. Meanwhile, emerging markets like India, Vietnam, and Mexico are becoming increasingly important hubs for manufacturing and exports. Isolationist policies, some economists argue, could cause the United States to miss opportunities to adapt to these shifts. Public opinion polls show a nation divided. While a significant portion of Trump's base supports tariffs as a matter of principle and patriotism, broader polling indicates that a majority of Americans prefer trade policies that encourage cooperation and open markets rather than confrontation. An ABC News/Ipsos poll conducted earlier this month found that 57% of Americans believe that a new trade war would hurt the U.S. economy, compared to 32% who think it would help. Notably, concerns were strongest among independents and moderate voters, groups that could play a decisive role in the upcoming presidential election. Within the Republican Party itself, opinions vary. Some GOP lawmakers, especially those from agricultural and manufacturing-heavy states, are advocating for a more measured approach to trade. Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska, a vocal critic of Trump's trade policies during his first term, warned against doubling down on a strategy that punishes American farmers and consumers. Others, like Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri, support Trump's approach, framing tariffs as a necessary assertion of American sovereignty against globalist forces. The United States must be willing to defend its interests unapologetically, Hawley stated during a recent rally. Free trade as practiced over the past decades has hollowed out American industry. Tariffs are a way to fight back. As the 2024 election season intensifies, Trump's tariff agenda is set to become a major battleground issue. Economists stress that the debate should not focus solely on slogans or partisan loyalty, but on a careful assessment of costs, benefits, and long-term consequences. Trade policy is inherently complex, said Dr. Elena Rosenberg, a senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations. Simple narratives about winning and losing miss the reality that modern economies are deeply intertwined. Effective leadership requires nuance, collaboration, and strategic foresight. As Trump reignites tariff debates, Americans face tough questions. Will protectionism bring strength or unintended harm? The nation's future may hinge on finding balance in a complex global economy.